Hey everybody, I'm back, and this time I wanted to do a showcase of all my 1966 tops. All these are going to be PSA graded except for one that is SGC graded. Primarily, you'll see the grades are anywhere, they're normally around a near mid 7, got some 8s, got a few 6s, and then one VG3 that you'll see quite early. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and start up here. It's a nice mix of some commons and Hall of Famers. I'll pick up the commons when I can at a good price. I don't pick up a lot of Hall of Famers as of lately. I did get that Necro here recently, but for the most part, all the Hall of Famers I've had for a couple of years now. Like that Pete Rose, I've had that for a long time. You can tell it's an older style slab from PSA or older label flip. This Koufax in a 3 is the only 3 I have. It's got a nice big surface crease on his face. You can't see it from this angle, but didn't want to pay a whole lot for this card. It's very popular, one of the 300 cards, greatest cards of the 20th century. Koufax's last card too. Milt Pappas, nice Ernie Banks, a lot of nice Hall of Famers in this. But good looking cards, a couple more commons. Now 66 tops, you got to remember what's going on in society in 66. You know, it's been over 10 years since the end of the bubblegum war, so those kids that Topps was trying to win their nickels and dimes from are now all grown up or maybe in college or like high-level high school years. And so probably I think the demand for cards wasn't as big. You know, that baby boom generation was growing up, and the times were changing. You know, it was more about social issues and Vietnam War, civil rights, stuff in the mainstream that was very important. And I think maybe the cards were not as important back then. So Topps is it's pretty. I like the set, but it's a very generic in some ways. There's not a lot of extra flair. You know, you don't see a lot of extra companies doing advertising cards like you did in the 50s and what you later on see in the 70s as well. But still very clean set. Some good key Hall of Famers in here. It's a cool Joe Morgan second-year card. Sorry about the glare on it. There's just nothing I can do about it. And once again, the league leaders cards just packed full of Hall of Famers. That home run leaders, 3 Hall of Famers on it. 2 Hall of Famers on that NL RBI leaders. 2 Hall of Famers on that ERA leaders. 2 Hall of Famers on that one as well. 2 Hall of Famers right there on the Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax. Notice that Koufax is on every one of those leaders cards. So you're talking ERA, wins, and strikeouts. That's his last. That's for 65. 66 would be his last year, but he really had a great year. 65. A couple more high quality commons. A couple guys that won MVPs. 66. Bob Clemente, Frank Robinson. You notice Robinson's got his Orioles on there, but he's wearing a Reds uniform. That was after they foolishly traded him for Milt Pappas, the guy that I already showed you a card of. Bob Gibson, they got that at 6. That 6 is just amazing. That's like one of the best. It's off center left to right, but that thing is just razor sharp. Absolutely razor sharp. And then I have it in a 7, a little bit more centered, but not as sharp edges and corners. Al Kaline, Johnny Romano. Starting to come into a couple 8s of Mike Ryan, second-year card. Juan Marichal. This Drysdale, 6.5. It looks very good to me. Not a lot different than these 2 8s. We're getting into a little higher numbers, so there's a high number series in this that are expensive. Wilhelm is not in the ultra high numbers, but this Robin Roberts now is. Very expensive on these cards. This is Robin Roberts' last card. Tough Willie McCovey 2 in that high series. And then the key rookies for 66. On the left, Jim Palmer. Once again, this is much like that Gibson, extremely sharp for an excellent mid-6. It's just the centering left to right once again is off, and which is a common theme I see on these 66 tops. That left to right centering will get you a 6, but the card can be quite sharp. And then 2 more Hall of Fame rookie cards with the Fergie Jenkins and the Don Sutton. Bill Singer was a pretty good pitcher too for the Dodgers. And I just have one SGC card right here. Got it in SGC and PSA from my Bob Gibson collection. And coming down here, when I talk about it, this being a no-frill set, uh, just the little things, the little knick-knack oddball stuff that it wasn't produced. Topps did do these rub-offs as an insert, so they still did have an insert in '66. And I guess I do like this insert quite a bit. It's kind of a cool thing, much better than the Topps transfers from the year before. But you can see two examples of it here. 8, the Millie McCovey is flipped over with the shiny side that you would place on the skin, and then here's what it looks like, from the non-tattoo side. Looks like PSA will flip it if you want it to show the shiny side, or the have it right side up with the writing in the correct way. But some of the guys I collect, Marichal, Joe Morgan, Frank Robinson's and sevens, and I just picked up this Ron Santo in a 6. Not a Santo collector, but do like the oddball stuff. And as I said, the interesting thing about '66 is this is about it. There's not a lot of stuff in '66 to collect because the hobby wasn't exactly thriving, as a lot of those baby boomer kids were growing up and losing some interest in collecting baseball cards. We've all been there. You get to high school, and for me, about ninth, 10th grade, that's when I stopped collecting. So you see that here too for those baby boom generation. And with all that was going on, all the changes in society and stuff, it's not unimaginable, but that would happen. But that is everything I got for you, all my '66 stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate your posting comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.